Ms. Jackson, I would like to say that I did have a conversation with you on Monday, and I want to make sure that I address what I did say. And again, it was brought up with contracts, as you can imagine, and I did this just for the sake of visuals. Okay, I have taken the information that was given to us, and I have gone through every line of every contract that was given to me and put them in this folder. I'm trying to do my best in my due diligence to go through each project and how we're spending money so that I can learn. I will say this. I'm separating projects by district and by massive projects. So when I was looking at these contracts, it was looking at the downtown project as a whole. I was looking at contracts that didn't make sense because it looked like they were duplicated efforts. I want to make sure that I'm also clear, Ms. Sharon Stonewalker, I mistakenly said that she had a contract with the CRA and she has it with the city. And I did apologize to her on social media for my mistake for her as well. So the numbers are still the same. The numbers are still the same. We have to take the responsibility and we have to look at these contracts. Mr. Harrison, I have a question. You mentioned that the CRA has many real estate contracts.
No, I didn't say many. I said they have others.
Others. Okay. Could you tell me how many that
I don't know.
Okay, because there's two.
Pardon me?
As far in the information that I've gotten related to the consultants that we have that are not a massive, like CBRE, for example, not including that, but with individuals or smaller entities, there are two. There's one with Ms. Jackson for up to $195,000, and there is one with as is cash buyers, is a man named Sean, who is representative of that. And I understand that this is CRA also, but as CRA is the city's business. We are one and the same. I would not bring this up only at a CRA meeting to bring in city contracts as well, but this is important because we are stewards of the money that we spend and the money that is spent without us even knowing. So with that said, do you feel that consulting is a dangerous profession?
Dangerous?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Well, I guess it would depend on what kind of consulting you were doing.
Would you, this particular real estate consulting, would you consider that dangerous?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, would you?
To be a realtor?
No, well, I know. I have my license as well.
I mean, I don't understand your question, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah, I know. It sounds laughable, but actually that's what's in here. So I thought it was laughable, and it was actually shocking to me because the second contract that we have that's related to same situation, trying to help people, convince them to and use their resources to help them sell their properties to the city or the CRA, one of the two, came with a different kind of waiver and release that I've ever seen. In fact, they only exist in two contracts, not in Ms. Jackson's, but in this one with Christopher Spalding of As Is Cash Buyers, and one other with, I'm sorry, but our new city of economic development director. She also signed off on this. What's concerning about this to me, and I'm not sure if anybody has seen this, but I'm happy to make sure that everybody can, is that it says that I, being sworn, consultant participating in consulting services, is releasee, is a basically release of activity. And it says that they would waive, release, discharge, and covenant not to sue the city of Pompano Beach or Pompano Beach Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, its employees, commissioners, officers, and agents for purposes herein referred to as releasee for bodily injury, death, or property damage, and waive any and all claims that the above-named consultant, his personal representatives, assigns, heirs, and next of kin may have as a result of bodily injury, death, or property damage due to the negligence of releasee. Item number 3, the undersigned expressly acknowledges, understands, and agrees that the activities involved in the consulting involve the risk of injury and or death and or property damage. There's more in there, but I'll skip that for the sake of brevity. I'm not done yet. Number 4, in the event that the above-named consultant sustains physical injury while participating in the above-referenced program, I hereby authorize and request that said consultant receive emergency treatment from the City of Pompano Beach's or Pompano Beach's CRA attending physician or from any individual or individuals licensed by the state of Florida as a medical service unit, as well as any hospital in the state of Florida. 6, I skipped 5. 6, the undersigned has read and voluntarily signs this agreement, waiver, and release, and further agrees that no oral representation, statements, or inducements apart from the foregoing written agreement have been made. Now, what's interesting about this, and quite honestly, one of the reasons why I was absolutely crazed with anger is actually from a protective standpoint. Every one of these contracts that I've gone through generally has 3 signatures. Generally, the contracts, depending on if they're city or CRA related, will have either Mr. Hardin and Mr. Harrison, and then, of course, Mr. Alfred, being that he's the city clerk and has to make sure that he records all of these documents. There are standards of waivers that are like a waiver or a hold harmless that do not have this level of risk of personal injury and or death. So you can imagine my surprise when I see this, and I've read through every contract. You can imagine my surprise and my anger when somebody who's trying to convince somebody to sell also has, or works for the city or the CRA, whatever it may be, also has to sign a personal liability, signing away their rights. And what's more concerning is that this particular waiver is an attachment to the contract. And instead of this waiver being signed and or notarized like so many else and so many other things are, there are only 2 signatures on this particular waiver: the consultant and Mr. Hardin. So, Mayor Hardin. So I do have a lot of questions about some of these contracts and how we are doing things, because I think we need to reel some of this in and make sure that we are protecting our best interests as a city, but also making sure that we do not potentially put people in harm's way enough that we think we need to have them sign a waiver of bodily injury for a consulting service. Thank you.
Very good.